So this is Mia and I working on our current groundwork project, which is using sideways movement to relax into walking or into a stop. So the idea is that when I'm ready, I will either pick up my rope upwards or pick up my rope outwards. So upwards is for stopping and outwards is for walking. And I will move my body in a sideways motion that hopefully she will follow me with. So you can see here my body's starting to move sideways, my hand has come up, and now it's just a case of me waiting and slowing my movement down to help her understand that we're sidewaysing into the stop. And she gets to choose the moment that she stops. I'm not pulling her to a stop with my rope. My rope is just an indication of whether or not we're thinking about forwards or sideways. And here we start to move off, but I have to use a little bit of that sideways upwards with my rein, which wasn't really as clear for her. And actually what happened there is that she started moving because I waited too long for her. And that's something that's really difficult for me. I like to give nice long rests, but for me, a nice long rests are quite overwhelming and she'd rather be walking again. So again, here we're going to try the stop. And you can see I'm just waiting. I've lifted that arm up a little bit. And now we're coming to the stop. And I should be relaxing that right arm down while she's yawning and thinking about things. But you can see that I haven't really. And that is definitely something that I need to work on to improve, because that's something that's making this more challenging for both of us in this session. I think finding true neutral is something that I find quite difficult. I do tend to have a tendency to micromanage. This is something that's definitely one of my goals to work on. But I'm still really pleased with the progress that we've made. And as she comes to lean towards me, I take that as my opportunity to ask for that forwards motion again. I can see she wants a scratch there. She's asked twice. So I'm going to take that counter offer, because ultimately this is about the relationship. This isn't school. We're not in prison. We're not at work under a tight schedule. We can stop to make allowances for the things that she wants to do as well as the things that I want to work on. But when she pushes me a little bit too hard, I back off, and then I decide that it's time once again to ask her for that forwards motion. And again, the motion with my body there and with my stick on her towards her hind end was quite clear, but the movement of my hand is really not very clear at all. And you can see I'm still in this sort of halfways position. And that means that when I bring it further up for the sideways to a stop, that's quite challenging for her. And I haven't really dropped my hand that much at all here, even though she's still licking and chewing and relaxing. So that's good, because clearly there's some other parts of my body that are clear enough for her. But today, when I go out to work on this, having watched this video and recorded this is definitely something that I'll be working on, is to really focus on that neutral positioning with my hand. Here was very nice. You can see that she really felt my energy and my intention there. And the fact that my hand kind of didn't really move from its spot wasn't really helpful, but it didn't really disadvantage us, which is super. And I hope that once I can get my hand under control, this will all start to feel even easier for her. On the first days that we practiced, like here, you can see that she has a tendency to push on me with her shoulder. And our first sessions, we're spending a lot of time discussing that shoulder and really making sure that we didn't release the pressure into a walk or into a halt until that shoulder was really yielding away. And this is something that she's getting really good at in the halt. That was nice with my hand. And there you can see where my hand is right down. That's where it should be all the time. And I think at this point in the session, I started to realize for myself that in fact, my hand was kind of in the wrong place often. And so I started to try to work on it. But it's very challenging, of course, to work on lots of things at the same time, and it's important to give ourselves grace. So this shoulder issue is certainly something that we've had to work on quite a lot in this pattern. Just taking a moment to look across at the environment there and enjoy each other's company. And that was a super moment for me to decide to move before things got too overwhelming for her. And there you can see I'm kind of having to push her shoulder over a little bit. And ideally I would have liked a little bit more softness through that shoulder from her. But because she moved over so nicely, I'm going to allow it. And then here I'm just going to ask again for a little bit. Yes, there's the shoulder that I was looking for. And we're going to shoulder that into a stop because that was lovely. And that's something that's really difficult for her. And this has been a really good opportunity to use this pattern to find that softness with a purpose, which has worked really well for us. I'm really pleased with how this is going on. And that last yield was so beautiful that I think I'm going to end this exercise here and start walking towards the mounting block. So I take my first step and I can see she's not quite with me. So I'm going to wait and lift my foot there and wait for her to start walking so that we can walk together where we want to go. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, please comment below.